In a world saturated with dazzling masks, where deception not only creeps in but takes root in the deepest corners of the soul, there is a rare flame that continues to burn quietly. A force far greater than what the eyes can see, more powerful than sweet words or manufactured glory. It is the power of the super empath. Individuals gifted with a sixth sense, not for display, but to feel the subtlest vibrations of life. They hear the whispers of hidden pain, see through the polished armor of pride, and touch the raw essence of each human being, whether it shines with light or hides in shadow. They are not caped heroes wielding swords under blazing lights. No. Super empaths are silent warriors, walking the tightrope between truth and deceit, carrying within them the sacred mission to protect compassion, something the world is slowly forgetting. When faced with the narcissist, the master of illusion, the one who spins webs of control with honeyed words and deceitful stares, the super empath is not just an opponent. They are their living nightmare. With blade-sharp intuition, they strip away each mask, exposing the selfishness, insecurity, and emptiness the narcissist desperately tries to conceal. They dismantle the chains of control with unwavering calm, freeing souls trapped in the mirrored prison of forced admiration. Imagine an invisible battlefield where the narcissist believes themselves to be the king, the ruler of emotions, orchestrating glances and reactions to feed their inflated ego. And then the super empath appears, quietly, without spectacle, armed only with piercing insight and a heart that refuses to bow. They do not need to shout to win. They do not need weapons to defeat. They burn down the narcissist's false throne with nothing but truth, compassion, and unshakable resolve. This is more than a personal battle. It is a declaration that sincerity still holds power, that kindness is not weakness, and that those who live by deception will, in the end, be consumed by the fire of truth. Step with me into the world of the super empath, a journey not only to discover the immense strength hidden within them, but to witness how they turn the darkness of manipulation into ashes with the flame of understanding. They don't just fight for themselves, they fight for those who have been wounded by narcissists, for those who have doubted their own worth, and for those who long to be free. This is a story of resilience, of the courage to face evil with an open heart, and of how one person can flip the script against an enemy that once seemed invincible. Are you ready? Let this journey awaken the fire within you, because who knows, you might be carrying the spirit of a super empath too, just waiting for the moment to ignite. Super empath, reading the narcissist, the blade that pierces the false mask. What the narcissist could never have imagined, not even in their most grandiose delusional dreams, is the supernatural ability of the super empath to see straight through to the very core of the truth buried beneath the flawless mask they so carefully crafted. Narcissists live in the illusion that their glamorous facade, the seductive charm, the sky-high confidence, the words slick as oil, forms an impenetrable fortress. They believe that everyone, even the super empath, will remain docile prey, forever bowing to their manipulative games. But they are wrong, and the price of that arrogance is their inevitable downfall. The super empath, with a sixth sense sharpened through life's invisible scars, doesn't merely see, they feel, analyze, and expose, layer by layer, every fabrication with the precision of a psychological surgeon. They are master interpreters of the soul, reading the narcissist like a worn-out book, its pages crumpled, its ink smudged, a fleeting glance, a forced smirk, a voice pitched just slightly too high. Nothing escapes the super empath's finely tuned radar. They don't stop at the surface. They sense the deep instability within the narcissist's psyche, the overinflated yet hollow ego, the insecurity masked by arrogance, and the distorted inner world they create to justify their self-centeredness. Like an emotional ultrasound machine, the super empath detects the subtlest tremors, the phoniness behind flattery, the coldness behind an embrace, the emptiness behind lofty promises. They don't need a confession. The narcissist's body and mind betray them first, exposing everything under the empath's penetrating gaze. This understanding is not just innate, it's forged from a heart capable of profound empathy combined with a razor-sharp intellect honed through countless confrontations with darkness. While narcissists weaponize fake empathy, warm one moment, cold the next, feigning concern when convenient, the super empath feels deeply and sincerely with no agenda. They are not pulled into the narcissist's well-rehearsed drama with its polished lies, theatrical gestures, and glittering illusions. To the super empath, these tricks aren't just cheap, they're glaringly obvious, like a bad actor stumbling across a crumbling stage. And it's this ability to read through the act that renders the narcissist powerless. The super empath doesn't just see, they act. They shut down manipulation before it takes root. They remain grounded and alert amid the emotional chaos the narcissist tries to create. One simple, well-placed question can unravel a lie. One powerful silence can expose a false gesture. This is how the super empath transforms insight into strength. The narcissist who survives on control and admiration becomes helpless in the face of a soul that refuses to be manipulated. To the super empath, deception is not just something to scorn, it's a call to rise, to stand for truth, and to prove that the light of genuine compassion will always overcome the shadows of deceit. 2. The super empath, free artist on the dance floor of the soul. The super empath possesses a rare and extraordinary power, the ability to neutralize the invisible threads of manipulation spun by the narcissist. They are not merely sensitive to the emotions of others, they are masters of emotional autonomy, fiercely guarding their sovereignty. Like gifted dancers on the grand stage of life, they glide effortlessly through the chaotic rhythms of the narcissist's world, with breathtaking poise and precision. The dissonant music the narcissist tries to orchestrate cannot sway them, for they've composed their own internal rhythm, a steady, unwavering beat that no external force can disrupt. Their sensitivity is not weakness, it is rooted in profound self-awareness. Super empaths are like master composers who understand every low and high note in the symphony of their own emotions. They know where they are vulnerable, where boundaries must be drawn, and they never allow the narcissist to strike the wrong chord in their soul. When faced with manipulation, they don't react impulsively or fall into the emotional spiral the narcissist hopes to create. Instead, they pause, they observe, they analyze. Like a silent strategist reading every calculated move of the opponent, they distinguish between sincerity and mask, between genuine connection and staged performance. In the face of the narcissist's most refined attacks, the super empath does not flinch. They raise an invisible shield of the strength of spirit and the unwavering discipline of the inner self to protect their sacred inner world. The narcissist's tricks, insinuations, and carefully crafted drama become meaningless, like arrows missing their mark. Rather than surrender, the super empath transforms these manipulative efforts into raw material, forging their willpower into something sharper, stronger. Their resistance isn't explosive or confrontational. It is silent, steady, and unshakable. And soon enough, the narcissist realizes they are facing an opponent who cannot be broken. To the narcissist, so accustomed to pulling emotional strings like a master puppeteer, the presence of the super empath is a quiet, shattering revelation. Their usual dances, drawing attention, evoking sympathy, or deploying covert traps suddenly appear clumsy and irrelevant before the calm clarity of the super empath. They cannot control someone who has stepped outside their circle of influence, someone who knows the value of spiritual freedom and fiercely protects it. The emotional self-mastery of the super empath becomes the ultimate weapon, causing the narcissist to retreat. In a world they once dominated through chaos and control, they now feel powerless, even fragile, when faced with a soul that refuses to be subdued. How can one manipulate someone who has already seen through the illusion and chosen to move to the rhythm of their own truth? It is this resilient independence that makes the super empath a living embodiment of quiet strength, a flame that does not rage wildly, but burns steadily and brightly enough to dissolve the shadows of manipulation. 3. The super empath, guardians of the inviolable soul. The narcissist, with their compulsive desire for control, views the minds and emotions of others as territories to conquer. They cast out webs of manipulation, emotional pressure, and sugar-coated words designed to infiltrate the inner world of their target. But when they encounter the super empath, all these efforts crash like waves against a stone wall. Forceful, the super empath not only recognizes the narcissist's schemes, they possess a rare and profound gift, the ability to establish impenetrable boundaries, guarding the sacred realm of their soul with unwavering clarity and strength. They understand that boundaries are more than lines of defense, they are expressions of freedom, dignity, and self-respect. Like skilled architects, super empaths construct their inner fortress with precision and intention. They know where limits must be drawn and which sacred spaces must remain untouchable. In relationships, they are courteous but not naive, warm yet never overly available, engaging in a kind of graceful dance that subtly but unmistakably keeps manipulation at bay. And when the signs of exploitation or deceit appear, they do not hesitate to draw a firm red line, not with rage, but with calm authority that makes the narcissist falter. What sets them apart is their strength in saying no. Super empaths are not swayed by guilt tripping or social pressure, the very tools narcissists so often use to breach emotional defenses. For them, saying no is not selfishness, it is an act of sacred self-preservation, a declaration that inner peace and personal worth are not for sale. And when necessary, they are willing to walk away from toxic relationships, not from coldness, but from a deep knowing that freedom and authenticity can only exist when the burdens of manipulation are left behind. Contrary to what many may think, setting boundaries does not mean rejecting connection. Super empaths remain open to genuine relationships, ones built on mutual respect and heartfelt empathy. These connections are not chains, they are harmonious strings in the symphony of life, offering joy and true support. Super empaths do not need the narcissist's approval to feel whole, for their worth is rooted deep within, a fire that burns on its own, undiminished by external rejection. Maintaining boundaries is not a one-time victory. It is an ongoing journey that demands patience, wisdom, and maturity. Super empaths constantly learn, adjust, and evolve in how they meet the world's challenges. They understand that only by protecting themselves can they walk through life with calm confidence. Each time they resist pressure, each time they reject manipulation, they are not just defending their own peace, they are upholding a deeper truth. Real power doesn't lie in controlling others, but in mastering oneself. To the narcissist, the super empath is a mystery, an enigma that cannot be decoded, an opponent who cannot be subdued. How can you conquer a soul that chooses to stand tall like a lighthouse in a storm, radiant, unwavering, and eternally free? It is precisely these inviolable boundaries that make the super empath a living emblem of silent resilience, a force that needs no show of strength to render manipulation powerless, dissipating every trick like smoke in the wind. For the super empath, soul analyst with a razor-sharp mind, super empaths possess a rare gift, a perfect fusion of keen intellect and deep emotional insight, creating a powerful boundary between themselves and the narcissist. While narcissists often get swept up in a whirlwind of self-aggrandizing delusions and superficial displays, the super empath stands grounded in self-awareness, a guiding light that illuminates even the darkest corners of their inner world. They not only understand their emotions, motives, and values with clarity, but also consciously shape their behaviors, like master sculptors carving the statue of their life with intentionality and purpose. In contrast, the narcissist, with a chaotic and shallow inner life, rarely ever touches that level of authentic self-understanding. The narcissist, trapped in insecurity and devoid of true self-trust, masks their emptiness behind a shimmering veneer. They rely on charm, eloquent speech, and manipulative tactics to project an image of superiority. But that sparkle is only smoke, beautiful from afar, hollow up close. They struggle to express their thoughts or feelings coherently, not because they are misunderstood, but because they don't truly know themselves. Instead of confronting their inner void, they polish their exterior, using attention and praise as temporary numbing agents to soothe their inner emptiness. But the harder they try, the farther they stray from sincerity and self-reflection, the very qualities the super empath treasures like sacred truths. The super empath, with their heightened emotional intelligence, has the remarkable ability to articulate their beliefs, values, and goals with astounding logic and depth. They don't need to hide behind masks or speak in circles. Transparency is their nature. When they speak, it's not just conversation. It's a declaration forged from deep understanding and unwavering belief in themselves. This clarity makes them not only trustworthy, but a beacon in their relationships, where authenticity and transparency form the foundation for real connection. In discussions or debates, the super empath shines with razor-sharp reasoning and steadfast presence. They don't defend their views with aggression or dominance, but with calm composure and tightly woven arguments, like skilled orators guiding their audience through layered truths. Their power doesn't lie in overpowering others. It lies in their ability to stand unshaken in the storm of emotion and reason, never compromising their core values. This not only cements their credibility, but creates a presence so compelling that the narcissists, with all their hollow words, simply cannot compete. Their analytical brilliance is not just a tool for self-understanding, it's the flame that lights their path. They are not swayed by fleeting emotions or sweet manipulations because their mind is always at the gate, discerning, filtering, protecting. While narcissists wander lost in the labyrinth of illusion, desperate for external validation, the super empath draws power from within, a power honed through self-awareness and razor-sharp thinking. It is this union of intellect and empathy that makes the super empath truly unique. They feel deeply and think clearly. Before them, the narcissist tricks fade like a flickering candle before the brilliance of the sun. They are not only true to themselves, they are mirrors of truth and resilience, embodying a power that no form of manipulation can penetrate. 5. The super empath, warriors of truth and justice. Super empaths do not merely possess deep compassion, they carry within them a fire of courage and a resolute determination to confront and dismantle the manipulative games of the narcissist. To them, justice and respect are not abstract ideals to be admired from afar. They are sacred values, essential and non-negotiable, that must be defended in every corner of life. With razor-sharp emotional intelligence and the ability to see straight into the soul, super empaths easily pierce through the glittering facade narcissists hide behind, a seductive veil masking a cold, self-serving core, where an inflated ego endlessly craves control and validation. Unlike those who fall prey to emotional entrapment, super empaths refuse to become pawns in the narcissist theater of control. They understand the parasitic nature of narcissists, how their survival hinges on draining the emotions, energy, and autonomy of others. With this awareness, super empaths not only defend themselves with an unshakable spiritual shield, but also wield their sensitivity as a weapon, not to harm, but to maintain inner peace and uphold their self-worth in the face of emotional toxicity. But their mission doesn't stop at self-preservation. Super empaths are called to a greater purpose, to expose the cruelty and absurdity of narcissistic behavior, especially when it targets the vulnerable, those who have yet to awaken to the manipulation or lack the strength to resist it. They recognize the invisible wounds narcissists leave behind, people silenced by confusion, stripped of self-trust, trapped in webs of deception. With profound compassion, super empaths rise not only for themselves, but as guiding flames for those still caught in the shadows of control. They do not shy away from confronting narcissists, even when it risks discomfort or conflict. Their firmness is not rooted in aggression, but in an unwavering belief that truth is the only remedy capable of freeing imprisoned hearts. By revealing the toxic core of narcissistic behavior, they don't merely protect the collective, they offer victims a message of hope. You are not alone. There are those who see the truth, who will stand with you, and who will fight for healing and justice. Super empaths are not just warriors, they are silent educators. They share their insights and lived wisdom with clarity and sincerity, like lantern bearers lighting the path through darkness. They teach others how to recognize the red flags, sweeten manipulation, stage drama, and emotional coercion so they can avoid the traps of destructive relationships. They understand that truth, even when painful, is the only sword that can slice through deception, and they wield it without hesitation. In a world clouded by deceit and chaos, the super empath rises like a lighthouse, radiant with compassion, grounded in resilience. They confront narcissists not only to reveal their illusion, but to plant seeds of hope, crafting a space where authenticity and respect are sacred. Their mission goes far beyond exposing what is wrong. It is a healing journey, a vow to create safety and peace for those who've been wounded. To them, justice is not a distant dream. It is a living flame, burning in their hearts, strong enough to incinerate manipulation and ignite the light of freedom. The super empath, armed with sharp intellect, deep compassion, and unshakable will, embodies a silent but unstoppable force. They neutralize narcissistic manipulation through sovereign self-control and unbreakable boundaries, and illuminate the darkness of abuse with a heart ablaze for justice. Like free-spirited artists on life's dance floor, they move to the rhythm of their own soul, untouched by the chaos the narcissist seeks to impose. As soul analysts, they build bridges of trust and authenticity with clarity and truth. And more than anything, they are frontline warriors, bearers of light and love, healing unseen wounds and shaping a world rooted in dignity, respect, and justice. In this tireless journey, the super empath not only protects themselves, they light the way for all of humanity. They are an eternal lighthouse in an ocean of deceit and manipulation, unwavering, radiant, and profoundly free.